Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to the channel. Today is December 16th, which makes it officially the second half of the month, and we're only 2 weeks out before the year 2025 draws to a close. Whoa! Before we complete this year, I do have a couple outstanding projects that I'd like to finish. And when I say outstanding, I don't mean like, whoa, amazing, superb, outstanding. By outstanding, I mean they're projects that I have procrastinated and put off until now. First on my list is actually a trench coat that I've been meaning to sew. The idea for that was back in August. And it's winter now. If I don't get a move on to it, it'll be spring soon. So, can't dilly-dally no more now. I also have this painting of a bear and two ducks that I've been meaning to finish for my mom for the last 3 months now, and I really should get on it too. I still have a couple other things on my list over there, but why don't we tackle one thing at a time so that we don't overwhelm ourselves? And besides resolving outstanding projects, something I also like to do in the second half of December is to go back through my reflections from the previous year, or the intentions that I set for myself going into this year, going into 2025. Here's one thing I took stock of at the end of 2024. I applied and got into a US top 50 grad school, decided it wasn't for me, so I yeeted. So I pursued a language school, but realized that during visa preparations, I didn't want it enough because I didn't want it for the right reasons, so I made the brave decision to yeet too. Plans A and B go hard, but apparently not hard enough. It's almost 11 p.m. and this is what we got today. I was able to install this collar as well as these details on this side here. It's coming together. We have the sleeves as well. The lining is inserted and the lining looks very luxurious. I might even like the lining better than the actual fabric itself. And for context, these were the only two plans I had for my life back then. And at the time, it felt very serious, very major. Back then, I called it a quarter-life crisis. But when I opened it up again this December, my first reaction was laughing because it just feels like another event in my life at this point. It doesn't feel so heavy and consequential as it did back then. So it's reassuring to know that even if things feel really major in the depths of it, like one day you'll be able to look back and laugh and just see as like, yep, that was a character building experience. Like, Emma, it's not the end of the world. You'll be alright. Give it 6 months or a year. You'll be alright. Go again. When I looked at the intentions or goals that I had set for myself going into 2025, I was yet again surprised because there were some goals which I fulfilled, some of which I did not, and some which even exceeded my expectations. First one, speak French with more accuracy. I put this one kind of willy-nilly on there, but somehow that actually was more the case this year than anything. I think this year, even though I studied language pretty passively compared to the years prior, my French has improved quite a bit. It went from being only able to listen to like simple podcasts to consuming content that I actually really enjoy, which is more in the personal development realm, slowly inching towards French literature, baby steps towards that. So very happy about that.
Participation from some brave souls in the audience. If there's any youngsters, any children who would like to come up on stage and conduct the orchestra.
Yeah. So something else I've been meaning to finish before the end of the year is to read this book, 1984. This is actually a book that was assigned to me back in college. I want to say like a solid 7 or 8 years ago. And I speed ran through that book because we were assigned so many things at school. But I want to reread it with a little bit more intention this year. If I sit down and really concentrate, I can read, let me tell you. Yeah, I'm just excited to experience this book all over again. Second point, speak intermediate Korean well with confidence. This one I did not fulfill at all. If anything, I feel like I've hit a mental or emotional wall with Korean. Or maybe it's just that my energy and attention aren't meant to be directed in this direction, if you will. So anyways, I've made peace with the fact that I probably will close the door with Korean for the time being. Even though I've already invested a lot of time and attention into it, I feel like it has served a purpose. You know, it's like the sunk cost fallacy. Just because I've invested so much time into it doesn't mean that it's worth investing more time into if I feel like it's not the right thing for me in this exact moment. And that's not to say that I will never want to return on that path again. No, it will just be something that I decide upon in the future, should I feel like it. Everything is basically already stitched on. We have all the pieces in place. The epaulette is on. Ow! I've just tacked it on for now, and then I need to sew on some buttons, and then it will be good to go. I'm really proud of the lining for this garment. It looks so luxurious. Of course, I messed up a final step. So you have like a vent at the back, so when you walk, it kind of like flaps around you and you have some space to move around and you're not entirely impeded by your garment. So the top is fine. The bottom, you can see the lining kind of peeking out here, and this is about like a centimeter or like half an inch off, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't feel like a lot, especially if it's like hidden underneath the flap. But in sewing, even 2 millimeters off is a lot, and 1 whole centimeter, if my instructors found out, they would have a field day with me. Speak intermediate Chinese. I haven't made much progress this year in Chinese, I'm gonna be honest, but somehow I don't feel any negativity towards the fact that this goal has not been realized. Yeah, sometimes when I make big decisions, I ask myself, do you want to know X, Y, and Z before you die? And if the answer is yes, then I know that my heart's fully in there. And if I'm like, you know what, I could die and this wouldn't really matter, then I know that like, it's not too much of a top priority. And Chinese is one of those things that I would list under, yes, I want to know this before I die. So it will only be a matter of time, you guys. It will only be a matter of time. Fourth point, build my personal closet that I love. Maybe even learn pattern drafting, ? I definitely wrote this in like a December of 2024. And this was before I even had a concept of tailoring academy or the fact that I'd be spending 4 months dedicated to learning how to sew. And yes, pattern drafting was very much a part of it as well. This department specifically with sewing was something that exceeded my expectations for sure. Like a year ago, I never would have thought that I'd be sewing my own gowns and to open up my closet and to see that most of the stuff that I own now were made by my own hands. Let's see if I still got it. Last but not least, have an international trip. Although I did not leave the country, somehow I felt like the world came to me in its own way while I was sat here in Hanoi in my home. Friends from abroad came, new friends, old friends. They brought with them their international stories and perspectives, and also through YouTube as well, right? Like getting to interact with you guys, making friends online is also a way in which the international is brought right here into my home. So for that, I am very grateful. Still kind of got it, but we need to work on it. Come on. This part always gets me. It got me like 12 years ago, it still gets me now. One of the things that I realized within like the last couple weeks is that although I can be a very good person outwardly to my friends and the people around me, and that is genuinely who I am at this point in my life, the person who I don't do that towards seems to be to myself. And the thing is that I feel like I had already done a lot of self-work to like really love myself and treat myself the same way that I treat others, in allowing myself to express who I really am without suppressing the stuff that I deemed was negative or should not be shown to society. And I thought I had been doing a good job with it until about 2 weeks ago. I guess I had a delayed emotional reaction. I had gotten so good at suppressing my own emotions, like overriding them with my positive thoughts in a way. But yeah, I think my biggest goal that I want to focus on moving into the new year is to be more in touch with my own thoughts and feelings. Like, yes, I can be pretty good with analyzing them, but can I be honest with them? Can I be honest with myself for everything that I feel without judgment? Can I do that? And the answer is yes, I can. And I choose that I will be doing that starting today. And something else I want to really work on is showing others that I care in the way that they like to be cared. Like, yes, I do care about others, but sometimes it's difficult for me to express it or verbalize it. It's usually done from a place of fear. I fear that if I don't show that I care, then I will not be worthy. Something like that, something along those lines. But when I realized that I wanted to showcase more care, I've shifted my intention into let's show that I care because I can. And yeah, it's been quite amazing to see how the world has shifted around me, how other people have opened up in the presence of my energy, I would say, just within the last week. So it really was just a shift of mindset and where I was coming from with this intention. Was it from a place of fear or was it from a place of love? And I had been acting from that space of fear for a long time. Like, yes, it has yielded results because even though I acted from a place of fear, when I get into it, I still do it genuinely and then the love comes out in the act of. But now that I'm starting from a place of love, I feel like the results are immediate. It's like night and day. It's not like I moved from point A to point B, but I teleported there. So in a sense, maybe teleportation is possible, you know? Anyways, that was all for this video. December has been a jam-packed month of thoughts, emotions, reflections, intentions, as it should be. Honestly, every month could be a month like that, not specifically December, but I still wanted to ride off the wave of everyone else doing so. And yeah, here we are. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this journey all throughout 2025. I hope you guys have a wonderful start into the new year with your intentions in check, with your values held tight. And I will see you in 2026. Happy New Year.